So I've always been interested in the arts. I'm not sure how and when it happened. Maybe because my father was into painting. He used to paint people's homes for a living back in the early days. Or maybe because at some point of time, his canvas changed from people's living room to actual artboard, which would ultimately hang on people's living room. And I clearly remember at least one of his paintings. It was of a scenery, a boat, a river, and the painting would hang high up on the wall next to a bright yellow bulb in my very old home. Um, and I mean, it wasn't late till I grew old enough and tall enough that my eyesight could reach it. That it came in my view. I had to really look up. It was so high up that I saw it very late. Anyway, he didn't pass on the vigor of art to me in any active father and son experiences sort of manner. But I'm happy that it was a mere exposure and an awareness that something like that is possible. Um, Cut to growing up a bit more, having to leave that house and most of the physical ties with it. Just driving away in our new second-hand Maruti 800. It was a really, really, really long route. And when somebody told me it's just 30 kilometers, I really didn't believe them because I was going so far away from my old home. Um, so when I reached high school, it was a new setting. I had always been a good student, attending all the classes, paying attention. That the only way I knew how to get people on my side was just to continue doing what I was doing, and that's what I did. So my first year in the new school, I was a topper, and but then examination sort of threw me off. The more I questioned things, the more disconnected I got from everything. And some people continue to get their thrill from scoring the most and getting the highest marks. Uh, but parallelly, I was finding this new interest in arts. I was generating a new curiosity. Um, and this one time I saw one person, a fellow, he had created this really nice sketch of flowers, and he had done a really nice shading. So I asked him all about it, like, how did you do this? And, what was the process like? And when I got to know a little bit about it, that's when I, sort of dived into it. And it's when I got into arts that I realized that one could just keep going into it. There was one could keep getting better, keep learning new things. There was no limitation of or the pressure of scoring highest there. Not that I wanted to score 110 out of 100, and I was capable of that, but still, I just felt that this just has so much potential, um, and I could just keep doing it, keep improving, and keep learning more here. And there was something about the arts that made the entire process really self-driven, because most of the subjects had focused study groups and classes, but arts had just one room where most of the people weren't even interested in following it really seriously. So I kept going on. I kept learning whatever I could find. And there was this one thing I learned about art, which I'm not really proud of, that I felt at that time that anything I would throw up on the paper and keep finding meaning on it, that's what art is, right? Like, I would just throw something on the paper and feel proud of it and feel really great about it. Only later did I realize that was just full of shit. And all of that was just beginning work, and I had to throw most of it away. But I'm especially thankful to my art teacher who entertained me and who played along. Um, he humored me, and because I really didn't know what else to do, I would just create something and go up to her to fuel that part of the process. Um, Anyway, cut to college. My other part of another chapter in my life began, and this was engineering college. Again, there was no sign of arts here. Um, Probably there were some people out there, talking about it, working on it, but there was nothing. Nobody was really talking outside and discussing anything, because this was, we were just all into our mechanical engineering and electrical and things like that. Um, so I at certain point I felt like my passion and love for art was sizzling away somewhere inside, like the last remains of the coal that people just throw water on because they can't wait anymore for it to die out on its own. Uh, but I knew that I couldn't let my environment be that just of water, and I had to put more coal in and fuel my fire further on my own. Because honestly, like if you can't keep your own fire going, then really nobody's gonna come around uh, near you to come around to warm themselves near you, and that's something I learned. However, at the same time, like there were some changes happening at the college. There was a new arts and humanity department forming up, and there were new people and professors pouring in. So I knew that I couldn't let myself miss this chance. um, I was already in the engineering college, and I couldn't have missed this chance to get connected with like-minded people. So um, so and I wanted to find a way to show my work to them. Like how could I get their attention? How could I get them to see my work? And so I came up with this idea that I would put up a show. I would put all my work up, and people would just come in and they would basically be able to check it out and connect with me. So I locked myself away. I think it was a few weeks. I procured all my art supplies, really big sheets and sketch pens from the only vendor who was present at our college. So I bought all of that, and I got to work. So I would skip dinner sometimes, but and most of the times I would just finish my dinner fast and get back to my room. So at some point, I was also like kind of anxious that I would miss out on connecting with these people and not being able to be a part of their group anymore because I was hanging out less and less with them and just focusing on things that I wanted to do. But yeah, I mean, that was a weird anxiety at that time. I was mostly happy that my roommate was away most of the times and left the room to me to focus and work on my stuff in peace. Um, he would only come at night and just sleep. And even when he did, I would just mostly keep the lights on. And I'm sure he would cuss at me, under his breath, a few swears here and there, just to, yeah. But I guess we all have to do what we all have to do. So yeah, I kept working on my project, and I wanted it to be like a collection of 8 to 10 artwork. Anything more and anything less and the people would not really get enough to see, but anything more I would lose the patience and the anxiety to just get out there and share my work with them. So I was really excited about the whole thing. So the final day arrived. I had already received a permission from the dean that I could access the academic building at night. And our college had this really long passage. So as soon as you entered, there were a bunch of classes. Then there was a hallway, and then the other side of the building there were teachers' cabins. And I decided that this hallway is going to be the place where I'm going to put up my work because that's what received the most footfall. And people would cross it to go to classes, to meet the teachers, Lou, and all of that. So I decided that this is the place that I wanted to put my show up. So it was late at night. Most of the people were sleeping, and I went to the academic building. It was not far from our hostel. I gave the permission slip to the guard that I had received earlier, and I had a friend to help me out to set up the entire thing. So as soon as I reached the hallway, I just brought out all the bulletin boards from all the rooms, and then I set the stage up. I put up all the paintings there. I was quite excited. The plan was really simple. People would come outside, they will see it, they will like it. They will ask who created this, and they will hoard around me, and then they'll shower me with all the love. Anyway, none of that happened. Um, None of that actually happened. So I didn't put any of my name and any of my signature or any linkage to my work there because how simple and straightforward the plan was that people would just inquire who it's done by and then they will um, check me out. So anyway, I'm still discovering how the world really works, but that's one of the lessons I had. And I went to bed that night really excited. I didn't know how what tomorrow was going to bring, how people are going to react to it. So yeah, I was, it was I was really excited about the thing. So I woke up, I went to the hall and to where my exhibition was, and basically I saw that nobody was there. And I felt, okay, maybe, it's because the classes are going on and everybody's just in there. So nobody's watching. And thankfully so that was the case, because when the break happened and when, people did come out, they would like hang around the exhibition. They would look at the board, and I would basically like stand one floor above at the railing just to observe how people were reacting and how people were interacting with the entire thing. As a person who's oblivious to, okay, what was happening there. So I could see all the engineers, mechanical, electrical, computer science engineers just pouring there, and checking the work out. So yeah, maybe not an India Habitat Center or any other, fancy exhibition hall, but I mean, I couldn't put it up there, but I'm just happy that I made an opportunity, and I did what I really wanted to do at that time, and whatever scale that I could manage. Um, it ultimately did actually connect me with a lot of the people. So the art faculty came to visit, and I was at least in their radar for a while. I got to hang out with the cool MFA kids, being in that batch, and being a part of their process. So Masters of Fine Arts students, um, and a couple of people from engineering batch also, came later on and said, okay, was this done by you? When they actually found out the people who were, into photography and things like that, because they got a solace, they got some resonance in that. So I think for a first step, for a first timer, it was not a bad attempt. I really, I'm happy that I did that. And it was in fact one of the things that also helped me to get to Connecticut. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you.